Good morning. Very nice. Thank you. Yesterday, brothers tried so well, no, outside for the adoration. Excellently done. Timing was the perfect, isn't it? Exactly finished the holy hour. The name. And the boys were working so hard. The drizzle started, and then I was really confused. Oh, what are they going to do? And then it stopped. Brother took the projector and ran inside, and then brothers again the projector came. Again the brothers portrayed a theme there on the screen. No, what the theme was? Storm. Yeah, again they invited storm. Come, come, come. See, that shows the love for nature the brothers have. No, the passion, the interest. Yesterday, really, I thought we don't go deep inside what they did. The mere act itself was a prayer. So for me, whatever they did, even the volume and so on, we couldn't hear much because of disturbance, but still the mere act, the interest, the focus, the devotion, I should say, which they demonstrated itself is the act of prayer. So, thank you, brothers. And today, I don't know who is doing today. There is a paragraph for you. Pope Francis has given you a paragraph in Laudato Si. It is adoration. One paragraph. When you go back to your communities, the first adoration you do taking that paragraph. All right, easy, very easy. I think 236 or 239. I'll tell you. I can't remember. So that is the paragraph. So you can use it today or tomorrow, but for you to be easy, if you didn't prepare yet, maybe that paragraph will come in handy. Otherwise, you use, if you are prepared already, you use it. Anyway, today I already gave you a review about what we are going to do today. That is, I told you micro relationship, I called it. Micro relationship. But the technical word is symbiotic, symbiosis. That is the technical word for it. Symbiosis. Or symbiotic relationships, we can call it. Yeah. This one. Okay, micro. Or symbiotic. Okay, symbiotic. Symbiotic means living together. Living together. That is called symbiosis. All right. Yeah. So that is what I explained this morning. Mutualism. Number 2, commensalism. Number 3, parasitism. Not number 4, sport is competition. Win-win, win-lose. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Neutral. Very good. Wow, that's good. This is win-lose. This one is lose-lose. People talk sometimes, they're not lose here. Yeah? So maybe that's what we are heading to in evolution. Next stage is not Homo sapiens, lose, human being. Actually, we started here. I will show you now. This is how everything started in the Garden of Eden. Alright. So we drifted into here. Then we are here salvation area, we are there. But the rest of the creatures, they employ all kinds of relationship in balance. So we can't eliminate parasitism. It's going to exist in human relationships also. But we can bring it into balance, not too excessive, I already told you. So we are using in excess this one. So we need to balance. We have to come from here to here. In that, devolution is good. We should go for devolution here. Okay? Go here. Go back here. Go back here. That is what the last book of the Bible calls for. That is the garden restored. That is the last chapter, 21 of Revelation. The first book, Genesis, first chapter is rewritten in the last chapter of Genesis, chapter 21. How these three vital relationships, that is what we have been discussing for the past 3 days, are celebrated in the Bible. Not only Bible, all the holy books, only these three relationships. Celebration of God, celebration of our fellow neighbor, and the celebration of all the living and the non-living things. So this is what the Bibles and scriptures are all about. So I already gave you micro relationships or symbiotic relationship. So mutualism, yeah, correct. Where did humans go wrong? So that is what the question I want to give you. This morning I just explained the symbiotic relationship, but I didn't ask you to go deep inside, but I know that you are going to go deep inside. So where did we go wrong? That is an excellent way of going inside these relationships and then identify, okay? Identify and then you act. Alright. Then what can we copy for our future survival? So that copied word, we are all teachers, I should never use that, isn't it? Copy means for you, it is anathema, yeah, immediately. Anyway, I know, you know what I mean. What can we copy for our future survival? Here we should copy, that is what my opinion is all about. Yeah, I tell you, copy from nature. There is no other way. Yeah, only copying. That is the best learning process. So now, whole day you have to think about in your relationship with your neighbor, what type of relationship I had with the brothers, and then with the whole of creation. What type of relationship? Yeah. Was it symbiotic? Or it is again symbiotic. Symbiotic means living together. So, I think towards the end of the day, I think you will find what kind of relationship will be beneficial to everybody. You will come to conclusion, there is no doubt about it. Okay, we start off with the first chapter of Genesis, number 1 and 2. That is Garden of Eden, where we see all the three together. God, human, creation. Okay, completely. It is union. There is no separation there. Yes. That is how I told you in the beginning of the retreat. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu is one concept. The brother also on that day in adoration, he brought forth Raymond Panikk's cosmotheandric, the same principle. God, human, creation. Beautifully started off. So that is mutualistic. Mutualistic. God is there and you are there. There is no distortion. All the three relationships are respected in balance. That is mutualism. See, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, hardware. software, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, exactly the same. Can you imagine the biblical writers writing 4,000 years ago can understand exactly today what the cosmologists are telling. First came all this hardware, then software. Life started to flourish only 3.8 billion years ago. So that is what exactly the biblical writers conceived in their minds. That is amazing, amazing. The most amazing fact is the last to be created was Homo sapiens, man, human. They never, even though their minds were anthropocentric, they didn't say God created humans first. They never made that mistake. Remember that. Usually, there is a tendency in religious people, God created humans first, to insist that He is the crown and jewel of creation. That kind of distortion, they didn't do that. They always mention the last day. How did they know? It's amazing. It's amazing. Today you can fit cosmology to anthropology or to ecology. You can fit it very nicely. Cosmologists say 15 billion years. Alright? That is the latest information. The whole universe started to flow 15 billion years ago. They call it Big Bang Theory. Do you know that? Now you fit it. 2.5 billion years, Monday. We call it 24 hours. But for God, it's entirely different. You know, one of the Psalms we read, for God, 1,000 years is like just a second. Yeah, just a second. See, his clock is different from human clock. Okay? Also, he is different from Einstein theory of relativity. So here, 2.5 billion years Monday, 2.5 Tuesday, 2.5 Wednesday, 2.5 Thursday, 2.5, 2.5. What does it make? How many billion years? 5. Sunday also you have to count 6 days, no? Already 6 days there, that is the rest, no? So this is again 2.5, 2.55, 2.5, yeah, 7.5, that is 10, correct, 15 billion years. Who are the mathematicians here? Teachers. Tell me, 15 billion years or no? 15 billion, it is mathematics. There is no mistake. It's not metaphysics. It's mathematics. It's a reality. Cosmologists, they say today, 15 billion years. How come our biblical writers could do like this? It is really a wonder. Amazing. So there got to be something there, inspiration, something there, truth. They didn't have the advantage of science at that time, never had. They thought only 4,000-year-old universe. How come? It is really a riddle. So even on the 6th, on the 7th day, God taking rest, 7th day. So that is, again we see those three relationships come into focus on that single day. See, Genesis 2:2. And on the 7th day, God finished His work that He had done. And He rested on the 7th day from all His work that He had done. Alright? Pope Francis is writing in paragraph number 237 and 71 how we have to view the day of rest. See, the law of weekly rest forbade work on the seventh day, so that your ox and your donkey may have rest. See, creation is also included on the sixth day, the day of rest. And the son of your maidservant and a stranger may be refreshed. Also your servants in the kitchen, your driver, everybody. Similarly, every 7 years, that is a biotic practice. The above is biotic practice, a biotic. Similarly, every 7 years, a sabbatical year was set aside for Israel, a complete rest for the land. Wow! When sowing was forbidden. See, God's human creation, even on the day of rest. Yeah. We need to give rest to our own parts of the body. That we forget. The main rest is here. Shut up. Here. 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 If you give rest here, you will give rest to the animal world also. Chicken will get rest, fish will get rest, all other animals will get naturally rest. And if you lie down in the house, you give rest also to God. That is not the day you go and shout at Him, give me more, give me more, give me more, hallelujah. Shout with instruments as if God is a deaf being. And you wake Him up, He will be telling, get lost, I have to take some rest. So, Monday to Saturday, make it the day of obligation. Sunday, keep it free. 6 days you should go for Mass, otherwise sin. Sunday, leave it free. So that is the area where we ought to really need some contemplation. Where is the day of rest, brothers, for you? I'm asking you. I'm provoking you now. I'm causing you some trouble. So, your 6 days you are working in the school. You are entitled to have 1 day of rest. But that is the day we call you parish priest, no? Come. Where is the brother? He's not taking catechism, etc. and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. So what I'm telling, this is the ethical practice. We need to contemplate on that, and we need to make some decisions and make people, some poor teachers on Sunday. It's difficult for them. They want rest. But that is the day we call. That's the day they get up early in the morning. It's all right. We need to go and worship God. What about other 6 days? You don't worship God? You need to worship every day. You need to think about Him every day. So 6 days you focus God. Your work is God. Whatever I am doing right now, you think it is contrary to God? No. You are listening to me. Is it not a prayer? It is a sacred thing. Everything is sacred. That's how the fragmentation should be removed. Everything is a union. You can't exist without the presence of God. Without His thought, that is a death. That is a clinical death. If you don't think about God, that's clinical death for you. So that is what the reality is. So today, in fact, many people also aware, Sunday, where is the rest? That is the day we go and spend more time in Africa, for example. That is the day they go and worship God for 4 hours. Our Mass is at least maximum 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's it. Those who are in Africa know that. They go in the morning till afternoon. They sing and worship God. It's wonderful because it is a day of obligation. Be careful there. If it is left to everybody, okay, come and worship 4 hours, 8 hours, that is your choice. But it is a day of obligation. Otherwise it is sin. So there is ethical note there. So we need to contemplate on that. Maybe we need another council, synod. Keep one day rest so that people like you work all the time. We parish priest 6 days holidays, one day work, 7 days. Sunday is our working day. 6 days we are enjoying holidays. That is the truth. Mostly, not all priests do that. They all work 7 days a week. You know that. But most of us. So this is what God meant. 3 relationships. That day, God is also your whole day. You are contemplating God while you rest. It is a contemplation. Mass celebrated in a deeper level. Yeah, deeper level in silence. There is a deep spirituality there. That's why God created day of rest. So that is what is being violated. Rabbi Harry Wharton put it so beautifully. God did not create the world. He became the world. God became the world to realize himself in material form, to realize an eternal and infinite aim. It is for the purpose of realizing his eternal and infinite aim that he became the world. Now notice this. God had to conceive the one primordial idea to become the world. Thus the idea preceded the world. This is supposed to be the relation between cause and effect. The cause is assumed to be prior to and independent of the effect, while the effect is assumed to be posterior to and dependent upon the cause. Did I confuse you enough? Yeah, it's a confusion. Don't worry, you read. After reading 100 times, I think you're able to understand. So it's confusing, I know. Paul Watson, you see, the creation so beautifully created in that God-human relationship, but what happened? Parasitism here. It is parasitism. Humans have exercised a parasitic relationship with the natural world where God is separated, creation is separated. Anthropocentrism. Anthropocentrism is nothing but a parasitism. Anthropocentrism, parasitism, both are the same. We will lose more in this kind of paradigm. We will lose more species of plants and animals between 2000 and 2065 than we have lost in the last 65 million years. If we don't find answers to these problems, we are gonna be victims of this extinction, even that we are at fault for. Yes, only humans are the fault. Anthropocentrism is the fault. See the last word? That we are at fault for. What is the fault? Anthropocentrism. In other words, parasitism. In other words, COP26 calls it human activity. They don't call humans. Always we do that mistake, even in the Garden of Eden. Responsibility, not me, woman. See, woman, no. Snake. Snake also, no. I don't know. But now the same thing, humans, they don't say. Human activity. That is the word they use. Honestly, I am telling you. Humans are not the cause. Human activity is the cause. That is the word they are using, discussing. Psalm number 1:4, God, human creation, again mutualism. You read the Psalm 104, you will find everything. You start up with God and you go into creation, then only you come to human. But here I put it human in the center. I don't know why I did that. I should have put God, creation and human. I am also programmed in a default setting, anthropocentrism. That's why I'm using God, human. I put creation at the last. So see how delusional, everybody is delusional. You read and see. Job, book of Job. I want to really recommend that book to all the brothers. I think there are some brothers you would have read completely. but hard to understand. Everybody has read that book, first chapter and last chapter. That is very interesting, first and last. In the middle, my God, it's a wisdom literature written in the 7th century, 10th century BC, Yahweh's tradition actually. Yahweh's tradition is the oldest. Priestly tradition came afterwards in the 5th century. So the book is as old as Genesis, Torah itself. So that's why it is put in the wisdom literature, the Ecclesiastes and Proverbs, the other 2 books, also wisdom literature. These 3 books contain unbelievable wisdom if you want to read. Okay. You know very well, Job suffered because he was anthropocentric. I am image of God. Then why God punishes me? Why suffering? Why humans should suffer? That is the main theme of Book of Job. Yes. Why humans suffer? Yeah. And also, why righteous humans suffer? That is the point. Not only human suffering, why a virtuous man suffers? That is the point. It is known as a theodicy. In Greek, theodicy. Why a righteous man? That is the point. So, Job is suffering because I am the image of God. In other words, I am Son of God, chosen race. Why should I suffer? He should liberate me. He should exempt me from suffering. So he suffers leprosy. He sits outside. His wife is telling, why don't you curse God and go and die? Why don't you put yourself out of misery? Why don't you go and commit suicide? Why do you go on complaining to God? So she was fed up. And then 3 friends come. Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophar. Those are the 3 friends. They came, 7 days they sat down. They looked at Job, Job looked at them. No word was spoken. And at last they speak. Yeah, they speak, they tell Job, you must have committed some sin. Okay, you did everything. You offered sacrifices. You kept all the precepts of the Lord and every prayer you did. But somewhere you must have made a mistake. Yeah, so they are pointing. The 3 persons, those who came to help console Job, they caused more trouble to him. They told you are a sinner, you should be punished for that. So they never consoled him. Actually, they were adding more oil to his suffering, that's all. And comes Elihu, another friend, a sage, let us put it that way, a man of wisdom he comes. And he comes and he says that, where is Elihu? He says, you know what? God gives this suffering not to punish you, but to enhance you. Again, PDR, no, I taught you passion, death, resurrection. That is the point Elihu brings. Through this suffering, God will be glorified. And also you will become more elevated, more complex. That is the lesson that Elihu gives to Job. Now he is not satisfied yet. And then comes God at last. God himself comes. See the chapters 38 to 42? God himself is coming and gives 2 speeches. Yeah, amazing. You will be thrilled when you read Job next time. Make it a point to read only 1 chapter a day. Don't go for a 2nd chapter. You understand that? Yeah. Please open the book today itself. This is going to be a retreat homework for you. Book of Job. Book of Job. Yes. two speeches God gives to Job. Wow. Theodicy, I told you, explanation of why a perfectly good, almighty, and all-knowing God permits evil. Why do the righteous suffer? So that is the question. Nature is not the principal marvel that is showcased here in the book of Job. Rather, it is the awesome God who is manifested through the natural world. In other words, the artistry of God can be seen in the splendor of the universe. God's wisdom in its delicate balance. God's imagination in its diversity. God's providence in its inherent fruitfulness. The natural world was not only born of the creativity of God, it also bears the features of this creativity. Every property of creation mirrors something of the Creator. It is not enough to say that creation is the medium through which God is revealed. In a very real sense, the medium is itself the revelation. So this quote I already gave you. Ask the animals and they will teach you. Birds of the air, they will tell you. Ask the plants of the earth and they will teach you, and the fish of the sea will declare to you. Actually, this book is telling you are not alone, Job. You are with the creation, with the birds, with the animals, with the Panchabhutas. Your body is made up of Panchabhutas. All the time, the creation is with you. But you are lamenting like an orphan, as if nobody is with you. You are sitting in a landfill, nobody cares for me. Even God doesn't care for me. But you are sitting on a soil which supports you. That is the point. It supports you, otherwise you will disappear. The soil itself is with you in a relationship. The gravity supports you. Even gravity supports you. Electromagnetism supports you. Strong and weak nuclear forces support you. The solid, the liquid, the gas and plasma, all the states of the matter supports you. That is the ultimate lesson Job is learning. He is going to school now, maybe Montfort School, and God is teaching him from first standard all the way to the graduation. See the Elihu, the Elihu talks. See the bottom of it, Elihu. God does all these things to a person twice, even 3 times. We talk about rendu moonu gandam. In Tamil we say no. 2 or 3 times it will happen in your lifetime. Why? To turn them back from the pit, that the light of life may shine on them. Yeah. When you are going to walking towards doom, God gives this gandam, brings you back. Here God comes directly and challenges Job. Alright, that is 40, 15 and 19. He calls a living being called Behemoth. We don't know what is Behemoth. Maybe some prehistoric creature. That's why Bible mentioned. There must have been like dinosaur. Alright. Here we see the 41:15, Leviathan. That is also a prehistoric creature. They are huge, like the Tyrannosaurus or Brontosaurus. They are huge creatures. God is telling, I am having Leviathan and the Behemoth as my pets. As my pets. They are my pets, house dogs, in other words. And I am feeding them and I am giving them water every day. You are worried only that you are not taken care of. But my job is not only taking care of you, I am taking care of Behemoth, Leviathan, elephants. Imagine one elephant, you bring it to your Montfort School, for example, Chengalpattu Montfort School, you bring one elephant. And provincial tells you, you take care of the elephant. All your GDP will be eaten by the elephant. That's it. And then brother will be worried, why don't you send any subscription? Then you will accuse him, you gave me an elephant. I can never ever make any extra money there. Everything elephant is eating. So one elephant we can't support. Imagine how many elephants God is supporting with food and water. And when you take all life on earth, who is providing? That is what he is telling to Job. Job, I got so much to do. You are also one among them. You are not separate and you are not a special for me. Everything is special for me. I will take care of them too. So this is the process. If you suffer, it is not a suffering that you shouldn't see in terms of punishment. It is a process. We make a big mistake when something happens to me, oh, it's a punishment. Then you suffer more. You should see it as a process. Other creatures also subjected to the same situation. They come out all right. Look at the dog. Which doctor the dog is going? No, when he is sick, nothing. The creatures are all, they come out all right. Because there is a biggest physician there, God. He takes care of you. Of course, he will come out. The hope you should lose. See anthropocentrism, then he comes to mutualism. That's all. And mutualism means the understanding that God will take care of me. I am a win-win situation. I am not going to be lose-lose. I am a win-win because God is there. Even if I am sick, God is going to take care of me. See, at last, Job puts it so beautifully. Now my eyes have seen. Yes. So we mostly suffer because of that anthropocentric. It is a parasitism, selfishness, no? Selfishness. Anthropocentric is selfishness. Parasitism is also selfishness. Then only we expect everything they should do that for me. They abandon me. No, it's just a process. It happens. That is the way things are. That is the way life is. Hey, that's the way things are. When you do that, then you come to mutualism. Yeah, this is the way processes go. We can't change this. That's the way nature. That's the way God created. Okay, this is what Alice Walker, you know The Color Purple, the movie, Steven Spielberg movie. You should watch that movie, The Color Purple. A beautiful quote. See there? I mean, when you think God abandoned me, then you can think these trees did not abandon me. There is some supplementary thing is coming there. This soil is not abandoning me. Alright, Tiruvallur also puts it so nicely, You are onnumilla. I don't have nothing, I don't have you complain. But you are standing on the soil is supporting you. Already you have soil there. That's what it says. Already you have soil. Then why do you complain? Onnumilla. So this is what Alice Walker tries to tell us, that when everything deserts you, always there is somebody to support you. She is a black woman. White and black people in the early part of the 20th century, there is a lot of abuse going on towards black people. White people treated them like slaves. So here is the quote. My first step from the old white man was trees, then air, then birds, then other people. But one day when I was sitting quiet and feeling like a motherless child, which I was, it come to me. That feeling of being part of everything, not separate at all. I knew that if I cut a tree, my arm would bleed. And I laughed, and I cried, and I ran all around the house. I knew just what it was. In fact, what it happens, you can't miss it. Max Planck, science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature. And that is because in the last analysis, we ourselves are the part of the mystery that we are trying to solve. Noah, the best example of mutualism is. He had the mutualistic relationship with the natural world, save all life on earth. Every life form has value, whether biotic or abiotic. He took also seeds, all right. Mahatma Gandhi puts it, the greatness of a nation or a religion can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Look at Noah. All creatures are there. He's trying to capture only one creature. That is woodpecker. I don't know why. I don't know why he wants to capture woodpecker. He's putting holes to the boat itself. Yeah, how many holes? I thought it was a design boat. Oh my God, there are holes. See, this is a beautiful, beautiful God-human creation. Genesis 8:17, brothers, I want to tell you. It is, I always thought Bible is an anthropocentric document. You know, they talk about God is for only one caste, no? One race of people, that is Jews. All others are Gentiles. That God is not for you. That God is only for Judaism. When you read this kind of Bible, what do you expect? Only casteism you will expect, nothing else. The Bible itself is proposing casteism, and then you expect people not to follow caste? That is hypocrisy. Naturally, we will end up in caste system. That is how I thought. That is how I thought for a long time, maybe 25 years. I thought like, then I found myself after reading this text. I thought I was wrong. I was wrong. No, Bible has it all. Bible goes to the other extreme. Look at here now. He is not only anthropocentric God, He is the God of creation, to the biotic and abiotic. Amazing, amazing. இதுதான் திருப்புமுனை for me. A change of my thinking, change of my attitude, I can call conversion. This is the text. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him after the flood, I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you and with every living creature. Look at that. So now there are three equal partners in COP26. God is sitting, humans are sitting, animals and plants, everybody is sitting. They are treated like equal partners in the covenant. Equal partners. There is no inferior, there is no hierarchy here. Equal. Your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. You can't go better than that. A scripture can't go better than that. Wow, He is God of creation. There is no doubt. You read the text afterwards, okay? 8 to 17, okay? Seventh pillar edict of Asoka. He writes similarly. See, the word uses beast and men, beast and men. It is the seventh pillar edict. Asoka inscriptions are divided into 14 rock major edicts and 7 pillar edicts, all deciphered. Everything is deciphered. This is a translation. Thus speaks the beloved of the gods, that is Piyadasi, that is Asoka. His name is Piyadasi. On the roads, I have had banyan trees planted, which will give shade to beasts and men. First come beast, remember that. Then only man comes. I have had mango groves planted, and I have had wells dug, and rest houses built at every 8 kilometers. And I have had many watering places made everywhere for the use of beasts and men. Asoka, 315 BC, 350 years before Christ. Remember that. A man is ethical only when life as such is sacred to him. That of plants and animals as that of his fellow men, and when he devotes himself helpfully to all life, that is in need of help. Yeah, that is ethical. That is ethical. Aram, you are a man of Aram ethics. Laudato Si, Pope Francis is writing beautifully about these three relationships actually. You read afterwards, 71. Okay, you got the PowerPoint. Did you send the PowerPoint, brother? Okay, thank you. So now you can do acts of conservation like Noah. Noah did it. It's all right. It's all old story. Now what are you doing? You know, Father Arul Raj, who is in St. Thomas Mount on the top, Changalpattu, VG Father. Yeah, we all the time we talk about ecology. He is lover of ecology. He is acting, I am theory. Yeah, I am theory, he is action. Yeah. So then Arul Raj, we were classmates in Sacred College. So we started a notion called Noah's Ark. Every parish should have a Noah's Ark. Set a piece of land set aside, and you conserve the plants, endangered plants and animals. You create a habitat for them. So he was doing in Pallavaram, one section, the people, brothers in Pallavaram. On the right hand side of the church you can see Arul Raj, and also back close to the rectory, lot of good work. So Arul Raj, I call it a new Noah, young Noah. I call Arul Raj or young Noah. This is Arul Raj, not the DMI Arul Raj. Don't confuse with that. I'm talking about this Arul Raj. Okay, conservation is the best investment for the future. That is the real lesson we learn from Noah spirituality. India, 120 national parks, 500 sanctuaries, 2 biodiversity hotspots. Oh my God. India, A+, A+. So build a Noah's Ark in your school or parish. Establish a space where some of the endangered species of plants and animals are protected. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, Red List of Threatened Species, 1963, that is the United Nations organization. I was trying to recollect yesterday. You remember the Good Shepherd? Jesus put the sheep and then endangered list. There are so many animals identified by. I couldn't get it. This is the one. IUCN, United Nations organization which identifies what are the species are endangered. Alan Watts, you didn't come into this world, you came out of it like a wave from the ocean. You are not a stranger here. So Jonah, he is another dissident. All right, I told 2 dissidents. Who is the dissident? One who questions God, or one who questions higher authorities known as the dissidents. So the first one was Job. The second one is Jonah. So you know the story of Jonah very well. His relationship, I would put it commensalistic or parasitic. I am confused. You choose now. All right. Towards the end of our discussion, you should choose whether Jonah was a parasitic or commensalistic. He is not mutualistic. We eliminated that. So he is going to. God is sending him to the Nineveh, the town of Nineveh. You see on the right hand side map, Nineveh is from Jerusalem. It's only about, I would say, 250 or 300 kilometers, let us say. See Nineveh at the bank of river Tigris or Euphrates. Yeah, Tigris. Okay, Nineveh. Only 200 kilometers, let us imagine. But this man takes the boat and goes to the opposite direction. Not even towards the direction. The opposite. Tarsus at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean there, at the end of Mediterranean Sea. They thought that is the end of the world. So he is going in the ship. The ship owners were Assyrians. You know, that is from Nineveh. Assyrians. They are pagans. God said, go and tell them to convert. So Jonah asked, this God is the God of Jews only. Why the hell he sent me to The Assyrians. He could have established a commercialistic relationship. He had the opportunity there. So he is there, he is not going, and he is going. Let them perish. Let them perish. Let God punish them because their God is different. My God is the true God. Their God is idol. Let them die, all of them. So that is the thing. Then he was swallowed. Then at last, ship. They find, okay, Jonah was the cause for the big storm in the ocean. And the Assyrians tried to bring Jonah to the shore. Bible beautifully says, they tried their best not to dump him in the middle of the ocean, take him to the shore. But the storm doesn't allow, pushes the ship still interior. And then at last, no options. Throw Jonah out. So now, storm gone. Now the fishes, whale swallows him. You know, all the whales have only that amount of hole. That's it. They eat smallest organisms in the ocean called krill. So they scoop up. They are like a small shrimp. They put it inside. They are like ice cream, like a payasam, that semia. So they swallow. Even today, evolution never made a bigger hole. Only even blue whale has only this amount. Not more than this, only this much. Exactly. So how can he swallow Jonah? No. He was having in his mouth. Even 2-3 brothers can sit in the whale's mouth and live for 1 week. No problem. Yeah. And also you can feed the same krill. And then you live. So now, the fish couldn't swallow him. That's why he is spitting him out. Otherwise, he would have swallowed. He would have come out on a different exit. But he came to the same exit. And then, see here, creation is portrayed so magnanimous. That fish could have spitted him out in the middle of the ocean. Imagine old man what he would have done. He had to swim all the way to the shore. He would have died. But the nature is also supporting, bringing him and spitting him on the land. And then he has to walk now, and then he goes. At last he delivers the message. What message he should have given? Only shortest sermon in the history, biggest change in human history. Only one SMS, short message system. Nineveh will be destroyed in 40 days. This is it. Instead of delivering that, he is doing so many other things now. So now he is sitting there. He delivered the message and the king announced the fast. Just I want to read this quote. By the decree of the king and the nobles, do not let people or animals, birds, flocks taste anything. Do not let them eat or drink, but let people and animals be covered with sackcloth. Let everyone call urgently on God. Let them give up their evil ways and the violence. Who knows, God may yet relent and with compassion turn from fierce anger so that we will not perish. The Bible writes, animals, livestock, birds, and king and humans, they made the penance. Wow, amazing. So now, look at the evil man here. Jonah, he is not leaving. He is going to a topmost place in Nineveh and he is sitting there. And then you know why? Because God is going to punish them. Yeah, he is going to very soon. There will be big fireworks going on for Deepavali. So he is going to look firework, enjoy firework, and then he returns to Jerusalem. So he is sitting there. In a short time, there will be brimstone, thunder, lightning, coming and destroying Nineveh. Parasitic. That time, heat. God sends a vine and it comes and shakes him. Wow, he feels happy. Very nice, very cool. Now, same God sends an insect to cut the vine. Cut it off. The plant withers away. He gets mad. His anger is pushed to the most extreme. And he shouts at God. Shouts at God. Then God himself comes. What is your problem, man? Then he says, you say that you will destroy, then you will not destroy. You will say, I will not destroy, and then you will destroy. So argument, no? Veerapandiya Kattaboman Vasanam, exactly same coming here. Nattaya, Kandi Utanaya, Parichaya, all the questions you can hear in this discussion. And at last, God tells Jonah, you did not plant that vine, you did not water it, you did not take care of it. Yet you worry about it. But in Nineveh, there are 150,000 people and animals and plants. I planted them, I watered them, I cared for them. If they perish, how much I would suffer. That's it. The shortest book in the Bible, 24 chapters. 15 minutes it takes to finish the whole book. You read it, you will come to truth. That is God, human creation. Nothing else. Jonah, you have been concerned about this plant. Though you did not tend it or make it grow, it sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not even have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left. Also many animals. Non-violence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming all other living beings, we are still savages. Very good. We'll continue this afternoon.